Hello, I'm going to show you my Thunder Dragon Phantom Knights build. It's 60 cards, and yeah, let's get into it. So the first cards that I play, I'm going to start off with traps and then go to spells and then monsters finally, is Phantom Knights of Tomb Shield for, the free special summon for Link plays. Next, I do Thunder Dragon's 100 Thunders. I know it's a trap. Like most Thunder Dragon people don't really play these cards. But it's basically like, and while it is slower, it's also like a free special summon of up to 3 of your Thunder Dragon monsters. The next card I play is Thunder Dragon Discharge, the other Thunder Dragon card. It basically is a free gold sarcophagus. So every time that you special or every time a Thunder Dragon monster is normal or special summons to your field, you can target a spell or trap on the field, banish one Thunder monster from your deck, and if you do, destroy that target. So it can be very effective against Sky Striker, and it is also very good for, the extra gold sarcophagus. Very useful card. I understand why people don't play it, but I do like that card. The next card I play is 3 Dark Gauntlets. I really like this card a lot for getting cards to the graveyard. It can be very powerful as long as you have Phantom Knights cards in the graveyard, or this next card, which is Shadow Veil. This card isn't especially good. It gives you your monsters, or one of your monsters. No. It gives a monster 300 attack, and if an opponent's monster is making a direct attack, then it can special summon itself from the graveyard. And if you use it in combination with this card, Phantom Knights of Wrong Magneting, this card basically, what it does is it stops an attack. So it's basically like getting 2 special summons at the very least. And if you do it, like, if you play like 3 copies, or like 3 copies of that, then, you're good to go. Yeah. Next, the next cards that I play is the Phantom Knight's Wing. Free special summon from the graveyard, gives a monster 500 attack. Very good card. As long as you have your Phantom Knights cards in the graveyard. So one card that I did not include in this deck that you may want to include is Foolish Burial, just to get those, the Phantom Knights cards into the graveyard, because that is one of the parts of the deck that is still, that I'm still working on how to get the monsters to the graveyard. But yeah, the next cards they have are the Phantom Knights of Mistclaws. They return a banished Phantom Knights card, and then again, if you have a Phantom Knights card in your graveyard, you can special summon this card and that card. So, very powerful. I have Phantom Knights of Shade Brigandine, or however you say it. It's, free special summon, always good. And the final drops I play are the Phantom Knights of Lost Fambrance for the special summon, of course. Now into the spells I play. Monster Reborn for an extender. And then I play 2 fusion for recycling cards in your graveyard and the search. And yeah, that is all of the spell and traps. Onto the monsters. I play Chaos Betrayer, a Metaphys Nephys, 3 Silent Boots, 3 Fragile Armor, 1 Envoy, a Ragnarok, a Diablos, 2 Necroface, and that is it for the, actually, yeah, well, that's it for this part of the engine. So, 2 Necroface to banish cards from the top of your deck, Diabolos for the basically free special summon, Metaphys to banish cards from the top of your deck as, again, BLS to banish the cards from your graveyard, the Thunder Dragon cards, and to also banish cards your opponent controls. Phantom Knights, Fragile Armor, that's for, like if you need to draw a card, or if you're going back into, if we're going back into the traps, if you have like Phantom Knight's Wing, or, Dark Gauntlets, which can also special summon itself from the graveyard, or something like that, then it's always like a good card to have. Silent Boots for the free special summon as long as you have a Phantom Knight's monster on the field. And then, for the same reason again as that. And then Nephys to get into Ragnarok, and Chaos Betrayer to banish the cards from your graveyard, and it's also another special summon. And yes, that is that part of the deck. On to the dangers. I play 2 Bigfoot, 1 Thunderbird, and 3 Mothman. So for this deck, arguably Mothman is the best one, because if it's sent to the graveyard, each player draws a card and then discards a card, which can be, very powerful if you're trying to set up your graveyard and you just don't have the materials for something like Duo or something like that. Thunderbird, they're basically all just special summons, but I can also get cards into the graveyard, which always helps. And yeah, that's about it for the dangers. And they also are a drawing mechanism and engine, so that's always good. On to the last part. I play 3 Matrix, 2 regular, 3 duo, 3 hawk, 3 dark, and 1 roar. So Matrix is for the attack point boost, because Thunder Dragons aren't especially, they don't exactly have the highest or best amount of attack points. And then it also gives, basically can just, get itself from another version from the deck, which is, always good for plays. It's just like, for me, like, I don't think a lot of people will play it, but for me it's just like, if you play it correctly, it can be a very good card. Thunder Dragon, to start off your combos, you have to discard one of these 2, and yeah. Duo, so that you can cycle through your banished zone, and you can it gives you a free special summon. Hawk for the special summon into, and you can, after that you can go into like Colossus or even Titan if you have another like Matrix in your hand. If you got Matrix in your hand because you banished it from Duo and then you discard Hawk to special summon back Matrix, then you can go into Titan. And yeah, Dark, because it starts off. It's also one of the cards that starts off your engine, and it gives you the search when it's banished, and if it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can also add a Thunder Dragon from your deck to your hand, and then the Roar to add back like Duo or Hawk or Dark or Matrix or even itself, or like Thunder Dragon. You can also special summon a Thunder Dragon monster from your deck in defense position and then return it to your hand. So if you did like Hawk, you'd get the free special summon on your next turn. Yeah. Alright, into the extra deck monsters. So I play 3 Colossus because, it's a very hard cards to get by. Or, like not very hard, but it stops your opponent from searching, which is always a good thing. Titan. I was actually dueling someone yesterday, and they it was very fortunate for me that I had 3 Titan because they were using a deck that I can't remember. It's nobody plays in the current meta, but I kept having to banish cards from my graveyard, and it got to the point where I was basically banishing my entire deck. But just to keep like Titan and Colossus on the field, but they negated the effects of 2 of my Titans, so then I had to bring out my 3rd one. So that's it. It can be, if you're using it correctly, it can be a very good card to have. I play the Javelin for, it's a pretty good generic, pretty good generic Phantom Knights card. Link Spider for, if I can get it, yeah, for Shadow Veil. As long as you have, like 1 left. Some Summoner, because, that's always a good card to have in your Thunder Dragon deck. Basically just special summon a Thunder Dragon monster from your graveyard on your opponent's turn. Curious. Send cards to the graveyard. Or, like you can send most of the deck to the graveyard. One of my favorites is Chaos Betrayer, because, you can't special summon it from the hand, but you can from the graveyard. And then you can also send like a Phantom Knights card, something like that, and then mill 3, so that's always good. Decode Talker. It can, protect your cards, which is always very good. Trisha Banshee. If your opponent special summons a monster, then it banishes that monster to that zone. So it's basically like saying your opponent only has like 5 zones instead of 6. The same can be said for your side of the field, except that would be that you only really have like 4 zones instead of 6. However, if you're bringing back like a Thunder Dragon monster and it needs to be banned and you want it to be banished, because then you can get an effect off of it, then it's always like a good card. Borreload, because like it's a very good card, good generic card to have in your extra deck, just in case. Like that duel the other day, I lasted like 45 minutes, and honestly, it was like by the time it was over, it's like, oh my gosh, I've gone through my entire deck and extra deck set from the exception of like a few cards, and this card really helped me quite a bit. Topologic Zerboros. Same reasons for Topologic Trisha Banshee. But then it banishes all cards instead of just the cards that this targets. So it can also banish your opponent's like spell and trap cards, which and their monsters, which in most cases, because they're being banished, unless you're going up against like a mirror match, then like in most cases they just aren't really gonna matter. Yeah, so it's definitely a good card to have. Like they just won't get the effect to resolve. That is the deck profile. I think that many people have seen that I am missing some cards. The ratios are a little bit skewed. So the first card I'm missing is Phantom Knight's Breaksword, the other Xyz monster. I am also holding some placeholders in the deck, having some placeholders in the deck. That card I need 2 more of. That's a placeholder. That's definitely a really good card to have in your deck, but for right now that's a placeholder. And so are you. You two are as well. And you. I need 1 Thunderbird, 2 Roar, and I think there's... Oh yeah, I need 1 more of you. So, these are all of my placeholders. Mothman. Technically it is better than like Thunderbird for setting up your graveyard, but at the same time, like I'm really used to playing Thunderbird, so that counts as something. But then also I'm trying to play 2 Mothman, 2 Thunderbird, 2 Bigfoot. So yeah. The next I have that's a placeholder. I do want to make a Thunder Dragon Nephews deck because that's they work pretty well together as long as you're banishing cards up off the top of the deck. So if you you can't Thunder the you can't as far as I'm concerned, you can't Thunder Dragon Discharge into Necroface, which will banish the top 5 cards of your deck. But you can Gold Sarcophagus, and then that'll get you going on your Metaphyse engine. Chaos Betrayer. It's a very good card. I do want to make a Fiend Thunder Dragon deck because Thunder Dragons are definitely very splashable. But it is a placeholder. Another one is BLS. I love BLS. I pulled this one myself, but it's a placeholder. I'm gonna have to figure something out about that. And then Ragnarok, sadly, it's also a placeholder. That's so. If you're looking for placeholders, these are the placeholders, and you probably shouldn't be using these cards necessarily, except for Mothman. Mothman is, like they're okay to use. Like you can use them, but the deck won't, shouldn't work as well. So I'm missing the third Thunder Dragon, as I'm sure a lot of people have noticed. It's definitely a main component of the deck. Very necessary. Roar. I'm missing 2 Roars. I'm missing 1 Thunderbird, and I'm missing 2 Shade Burgundy, or however you say it. If you have any of these cards and their rarities, so this is common. I'm thinking of Pokemon. That's, you know, like, I'll just call it common. This is common, prismatic, ultra, and common. If you don't have them in that rarity, it's okay too. But if you do have them in, you know, like any form, please reach out to me. I do require them. As long as you're okay with it, though. Yeah, thank you. So next off, I am going to show you how show you some combos. So just by, you know, like randomly shuffling the deck, let's see what kind of great hands we can pull. And if you've ever listened to Delirium, if the person takes their, you know, stuff off the camera, don't trust that. That's a bad sign. Yeah, like I know it's my extra, like honestly my extra deck just doesn't have, you know, space to fit. So let's see here. So you probably shouldn't be trusting this. Oh well. I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, it's just kind of scooch you there. So Wrong Magneting, 100 Thunders, Roar, Necroface, and Boots. This is tough. Set Magneting. Summon Necroface. Face down actually. Pass. That's literally all you can do. In this case, unless you're, you know, like I'm sure someone else will figure out a better way to do it, but for me right now, that's all I have. Draw for turn. Nice. Discard Thunder Dragon. Add from your deck to your hand. Thunder Dragon. Ah, dang. Okay. Of course, this is kind of, you know, like assuming that they won't, you know, like attack or anything like that. They will, but like, you know, for the sake of it, you know. I really like Thunder Dragons though because they are very splashable. Like you could do. One of my friends was actually saying that this deck is actually very new because most people do Thunder Dragon monsters, and this is like Thunder Dragon traps. So it's, you know, new to the meta. You could do like Paleozoic, Thunder Dragon, or, you know, like this is definitely like an original idea, but you could do like Thunder Dragon Paleozoics and stuff like that. Like that's an interesting idea. Sacrifice Necroface for Roar. Set one, pass. Magneting on their attack, and yeah, this card's, nope, no, that was on. 100 Thunders. Yeah, you're supposed to set that. Bring back Thunder Dragon, and if you had 3, then you put 2 in your graveyard, you could have summoned 2. But you know, because this is all I have right now. Link into Curious Effect. Sending. Okay, that's supposed to be in the graveyard. We'll send Chaos Betrayer this time, and then we get to mill 3. Woohoo. Yeah. Alright, so the three are... Ooh, okay. Envoy, Vambrant, ouch, and Vambrant, ouch again. But we can activate Chaos Betrayer and special summon it by banishing Thunder Dragon and Necroface. And when we banish them, we get to banish 5 more. So we get to banish Dark Gauntlets, Bigfoot, ouch, and more ouch. Hawk, good. A Dark, good. How many has that been? That's been 4, right? Yeah, 4. So the last one, it's Shadow Veil. You can activate Dark and that one, that other, the other card. Dark and Hawk. Send Thunder Dragon back to the deck, and I'm not going to send back Silent Boots, but then you can add a Thunder Dragon from your deck to your hand, so you can do Hawk, and then you get to draw 1 off of Hawk's effect. Let's see, what do we get? Mist Claws, Hawk effect for Roar, sacrifice Roar for Colossus, Curious and Chaos Betrayer into Trapologic Zerboros, and that would just be your end field. Not half bad, because you have 7 cards banished, your opponent has 5, so that's 12 cards. That means this card gets 24 extra attack, so it's 24 extra attack, so it's at 54, 26, so exactly at that 8,000. So if your opponent doesn't have anything to, assuming your opponent doesn't have anything to stop them, that's game. But yeah, if you liked the video, please leave a like and comment below if you like the deck or not. And if you want to see a Paleozoic, deck, I'm interested. I've began testing it, and it's actually really interesting, and I think it could work really well. But yeah, that's the end of the video. See you guys next time.